Hey everybody, this is Luke at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from VIZONY. This is the RD830 Full HD 1080p home theater projector. It's got a fully sealed engine, dust-proof design, so you're not going to have to worry about dust getting into this at all. It does have a Wi-Fi 6 and 5, also backwards compatible with 2.4 gigahertz as well. We're going to dig into this now, and I'll be right back. So here's everything that you get once you get it out of the box. Of course, you get the main unit here. We'll go over that in just a moment. But we do get quite a few different things that I do want to cover here. You do get a user manual for this. The model number on this is RD830 by VIZONY. And you can see it's a full sealed engine. It's IP5X Dust-proof. So you're not going to have to worry about dust getting inside and clouding up your lens. Now, this is an overall great user manual in color. It's in English, and the print is fairly large for manuals, so you're not going to have to whip out the magnifying glass to take a look at this. So it's going to show you how to change certain settings and other things that you'll get with this projector, like being able to mirror your phone, be it Android or iOS. So hold on to that for reference. Now, you do get a full HDMI cable here in the box, so if you don't have an extra one and need one, you'll get one right out of the box. You can hook up a game console or a laptop or PC to that very easily. You get two-prong to two-prong power adapter here. There is no battery built in to the unit, so you will have to have it plugged in. You do get a legacy AV cable as well, so if you have older devices that use the red and white for audio and then your yellow for video, you can even hook those up as well. So it's kind of nice to have just in case. Now, we've got a pretty nice remote here that's got a couple of nice features to it that I want to go over. This is a nice and slim remote, lightweight. On the front, you can see we've got all the things we need, like home and back, your navigation wheel. You do, on the right-hand side, have that F+ and F- for your electronic focus. You can rotate the screen any way you need to, mute everything, and of course adjust your volume and power as well. Now, it takes two AAA batteries, and they are not included. Now, let's take a look at the RD830. On the front, it says autofocus and native 1080p. Now, of course, this does support 4K file encoding, so you'll be able to play back 4K files, and I'll do that a little bit later in the video. Nice wide lens on the front, some venting on the front and sides, and if we get to the back, we've got a bunch of different ports here that I'm going to go over. Now, you have two full USB ports for USB drives. You have two full HDMI ports. You have that audio video port. You also have a 3.5mm headphone out port in case you want to do speakers or wired headphones. And of course, your IR sensor as well as a power button on top. On the bottom right, you have that spot where you're going to plug in your power. Flipping it over to the underside, you do have a leveler here, so you can level this out. It's got 4 nice feet on it, and also in the middle, you do have support for a tripod or setup like that if you need it. So overall, that is the unboxing of the VIZONY RD830, and we are going to take a look at it in action right now. Okay, so once you're all booted up and ready to go, this is going to be your main screen. You're going to have two choices at the top: iOS Cast for Apple devices and Miracast for Android devices. So you do have the ability to cast your tablet or your phone or whatever device you're going to do right from there. On the left-hand side, your HDMI 1, 2, and AV. And you also have movies, music, photos, and Office Suite if you want to do Office documents. Now, in the upper right-hand corner, we do have our settings, which we will check here. Now, this does support Wi-Fi. It supports Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 2.4. So I have it hooked up to my Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz network. It does have Bluetooth as well. So if you want to hook up external Bluetooth speakers or a Bluetooth headphones or earbuds, you can do that as well right here through the Bluetooth menu. We've got projection settings, and this is our projection mode, front or rear, or if you're going to mount this in a different orientation, you can flip and reverse it. And you can also control that with the remote control as well. Now your keystone is either side or manual, and if you go to 4-point keystone and motor focusing, we'll have some things that we can change right here. Motor focusing is going to be that electronic focus, already in focus, so not a big deal there, but it is nice to have. And you can adjust the focus again right from the remote control. You do have your 4-point keystone, so you can actually correct this depending on how you want to do it by each corner of the screen, so it fits your liking. Now if we go to manual, we'll have a few other options. So let's slide that back. You'll see we have horizontal and vertical keystone here. We can do that per positive or negative numbers depending on how we want it to look on our wall. So you've got a lot of options here with your keystone correction depending on what surface you're going to be projecting on. So this works out really well. Digital zoom, another thing here, we can zoom all the way down. So if you have limited space and you need a smaller space to project onto, you can definitely adjust the zoom size here. So that is a useful feature as well for people who have limited space. That motor focusing we've already gone over, but again, nice to have electric focus here as well. Now system updates, since it is connected to Wi-Fi, you can do a local update, restore it to factory here, or you can do an online update. My projector is the latest version, so I don't need to update. We do have some other settings that we can check out here as well, such as your boot source option. You can boot right to the last thing you were using, like your HDMI. If you wanted to boot right to that signal, you can do that. Power on option, either your standby or direct. You do have language settings here, and we do have a ton of different languages that you can choose from. So if English is not your first language, you can definitely change that as well. Now you do have a sleep timer here, or a scheduled shutdown from 10 minutes to 120 minutes as well. Now if we go into About, it's just going to give you your MAC address and your system version, and that pretty much covers our settings. Okay, so we have Mirrorcast for Android devices. We also have iOS Cast. I don't own any iOS devices, but I will test Mirrorcast here for Android devices with my S23 Ultra. And it's a very simple process. You just click on it, and then you'll connect using Smart Share or whatever you have on your Android device for casting your screen. So on mine, it should come up very quickly here, as we do have Wi-Fi 5 and 6 to work with here, so it should be a pretty easy and seamless connection. And as you can see, there is my phone, and it is all set up and ready to go. Color reproduction is okay on the phone as far as Mirrorcast goes. It is super smooth though, with no delay, no choppiness, no blockiness, or anything like that. As you can see, I can swipe through everything quite easily. So being able to cast your screen from your device is going to work out just great if you want to watch a YouTube video or something like that. If you want to watch stuff like Netflix or other copyrighted materials, you're going to have to plug in something like a Fire Stick or something like that to actually watch those services. Okay, so I do have a 4K file that I do want to play back just so you can see how well it handles 4K encoded files. This is of me playing Fortnite. It's a game capture at 4K on a USB drive here. So we're going to go into our USB drive, and we are going to select the file that we want to play back. Now I had another file on here, but I didn't have it set up correctly. So we're going to watch the Fortnite playback. I'm going to put the speakers at 80% so you can hear the speakers as well, and you can check it out. Okay, so as you can see, a really nice brightness on here at its default levels. If we go in, we can adjust our sound mode and picture mode as well, and it's got some built-in settings here for you know, standard news, movie, gaming, those type of things, sports, and user, of course, where we would be able to go in and change some of those sounds if we wanted it to be punchier on the bass. Now, this does have a 15-watt speaker system in it, and it does a good job at drowning out any fan noise that you would hear on this as well. Now, same thing with picture mode. There's some built-in ones here. We can adjust brightness, contrast, saturation, and sharpness. So you do have a PC mode, a user, a vivid, a soft, and if I want to just kind of adjust the brightness even more, I can, but it's plenty bright even at its default of 50. Okay, so that's my review of the VIZONY RD830 Full HD 1080p home theater projector. Again, I like that it's fully sealed, so I don't really have to worry about dust getting in. I like that it has Wi-Fi with support for Wi-Fi 6, 5, and 2.4 gigahertz, so that I can cast my device, be it Android or iOS, to the device itself, which is really great. Also, it has good color representation with lots of tweaks that you can make there. Automatic focus and electronic focus and 4D keystone correction makes this a pretty nice overall home theater projection. Definitely for movies and games, and maybe even some light presentations with some office work. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll check you guys out on the next one.